Okay, real talk. Your 1,000 Pi coins are sitting at about $507 right now, and you're probably wondering if all that daily button tapping was worth it. Look, I've been there too. Pi started as this cool idea where anyone could mine crypto on their phone without fancy equipment, and now we've got 50 million people doing it with an actual working mainnet. The thing is, most Pi coins are still locked up, which means they're not flooding the market and crashing the price. Here's what's keeping me up at night though: if Pi doesn't really take off, your 1,000 Pi might only be worth around $20,000 by 2026. But if they actually get on the big exchanges like everyone keeps talking about, some analysts think Pi could hit $3 per coin. That's when things get interesting for your wallet. Hit up my Telegram and Facebook links right now because I'm about to break down whether you're holding on to something special or just another crypto disappointment. Smash that like if you're tired of all the crazy Pi predictions and just want someone to tell you what's actually realistic. And definitely subscribe because I'm going to keep it 100 with you about what's really happening with Pi Network. No sugarcoating, no false hope, just the facts. So, Pi started back in 2019 as this experiment to see if regular people could mine crypto without those expensive mining rigs. Fast forward to now and we've got over 50 million users and a mainnet that actually works. They've been building real stuff too. Stores in Asia are taking Pi payments. There's this Pi Bridge thing that lets you swap Pi with Ethereum and other networks, and they've got apps like PiChain Mall and Fireside Forum where people are actually using Pi. Now here's the part that actually matters for your money. Pi has planned for 100 billion total coins, which sounds like a lot until you realize most of them are still locked away. The Pi team isn't just dumping coins everywhere, they're releasing them slowly through mining rewards and planned releases every few months. It's like they're being careful not to kill their own project by flooding the market. Your 1,000 Pi sitting at $507 right now might not seem like much, but think about it. While you've been tapping that button, Pi has actually been building something real. The question is, whether all this building will turn into real money in your pocket. Here's what your 1,000 Pi could actually be worth by 2026, and I'm going to give it to you straight, no moonshot fantasies. Scenario 1, Pi stays pretty niche. Some people use it, but it doesn't really break into the mainstream. In this case, we're looking at maybe $20 to $30 per coin. That puts your 1,000 Pi at $20,000 to $30,000. Honestly, not bad for something you did on your phone during commercial breaks. Scenario 2, Pi actually gets its act together. More apps launch, more stores accept it, people start using it for real purchases instead of just collecting it. If that happens, Pi could hit $50 to $75 per coin. That means your stack would be worth $50,000 to $75,000. That's real money, the kind that could pay off your car, help with a house down payment, or give you a nice financial cushion. Now the dream scenario that has everyone excited: mass adoption. Pi becomes something people actually use regularly for shopping, sending money to friends, using in apps. If that happens, some people think Pi could reach $100 or more per coin. That would make your 1,000 Pi worth $100,000 or higher. I'm not promising this will happen, but imagine turning years of phone tapping into six figures. Let me tell you what Coinpedia's research team is predicting, because these guys actually look at the numbers instead of just throwing out random hopes and dreams. They've been watching Pi since the mainnet went live, and honestly, it's been a bit of a struggle. Pi keeps trying to stay above $1, but often drops back down to around 40 cents. If you've been watching the price, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But here's where Coinpedia gets interesting. They think everything changes if Pi gets listed on the major exchanges. We're talking Binance, Coinbase, the big players. If that happens, they're predicting Pi could average between $2.25 and $3.50 by 2026. That would make your 1,000 Pi worth about $2,250 to $3,500. It's not going to make you rich overnight, but it's a decent return for tapping your phone. Even if Pi doesn't get those big exchange listings and growth stays slow, Coinpedia still thinks it could reach 70 cents to $1.25 by 2026. That puts your 1,000 Pi somewhere between $700 and $1,250. At least you'd make some profit on all that mining, even if it's not life-changing money. Look, I want to be real with you about what needs to happen for Pi to hit these higher prices, because it's not guaranteed. First thing, Pi needs to get on the big exchanges. Right now, most trading happens on smaller platforms like MEXC and OKX. That's fine for now, but If you want serious price movement, you need Binance, Coinbase, those kinds of platforms where the big money plays. Without that, Pi stays in the minor leagues. Second, people need to actually use Pi, not just mine it and hold it. Pi has built some cool stuff, but the real test is whether your neighbor will choose to pay with Pi instead of their credit card. If everyone just mines and holds forever, there's no real demand pushing the price up. Third, Pi needs to keep managing their coin releases carefully. They're doing okay so far with the slow rollouts, but if they mess up and dump too many coins at once, it could tank the price no matter how much people are using it. My honest advice? Keep mining if it doesn't bug you. It's basically free at this point. But don't put your rent money into Pi or expect it to solve all your financial problems. The potential is there, but crypto is weird and unpredictable. Watch for these things. Big exchange announcements, real adoption news where you see Pi being used for actual purchases, and any major changes to how they're releasing coins. These aren't just small updates. They're the kind of developments that can shift the market. A listing WAN on major platforms like Binance or Coinbase would mean way more visibility and access to serious investors. That kind of exposure usually brings in new demand, which can push the price higher. If the Pi team nails that, it could be a turning point, but listings alone won't cut it. You should also pay attention to whether people are actually using Pi in the real world, not just holding it in wallets. When you start seeing transactions at real stores, on popular apps, or in online marketplaces, that's a sign of real utility. It means Pi is becoming more than just a concept. And finally, how they release new coins matters. A sudden flood of unlocked Pi could crash the price, no matter how good everything else looks. So yeah, these three things, exchanges, real usage, and smart coin release, are what you want to keep your eye on. Stay connected with my Telegram and Facebook. I share updates there when big Pi news drops. And trust me, you want to know about major developments before everyone else does. The next year and a half is going to be crucial for figuring out if Pi is the real deal or just another crypto experiment that didn't work out. Most importantly, be realistic. Your 1,000 Pi could be worth a few $1,000s by 2026, maybe more if things go really well. That's still a win for something you did during your coffee breaks, but it's probably not going to buy you a mansion. Your 1,000 Pi coins represent a bet on whether this whole crypto for everyone thing can actually work. The math shows there's potential for decent returns, but it's not a guaranteed path to early retirement. Pi has built more than most people give them credit for, but turning that into real money still depends on things we can't predict. If this breakdown helped you figure out what to expect from your Pi, hit that like button and drop a comment. Are you still mining every day or have you given up? Subscribe for more realistic crypto talk that doesn't promise you'll get rich quick, and don't forget to follow those social links for the latest updates. Whatever happens with Pi, at least now you know what you're really looking at.